One.
Good evening. My name is Jeffrey Folks, and this is Policy 700. I am doing my oral presentation on the literature review that was conducted a few weeks ago. From that literature review, there were two research questions that came about. However, for the purpose of this presentation, we'll focus only on one. And that question is, how do different forms of taxation, such as wealth taxes versus capital income taxes, affect long-term wealth inequality and economic growth in the United States? Here's what you should expect from this oral presentation. First, you will have an intro of several themes that were discovered within the research. Two, there'll be a high-level discussion around taxation and wealth redistribution. Three, I'll talk about the limitations that came about from the research. To begin, let's talk about taxation. Well, taxation is a cornerstone of economic policy, and it serves as the only revenue source for governments. This is state, local, and federal. Taxes help to fund government programs and are used as a tool to address income and wealth inequality. And third, which is not a result of research, but I included it because it's true, and that is the tax policies that are in force is going to depend on which party is in office at the time. So the first theme, which is a prevailing theme that was discovered in the literature, is the effectiveness of tax policies in reducing economic inequality. Within the literature and the research, what came about was three forms of taxation being discussed. The first is wealth taxes, which is a tax on all or some of the assets that an individual taxpayer may own. We currently do not have a wealth tax in the United States. Second is the most common, which is income taxes. Typically, this is taxes on earned income. Three, capital gains tax, which is tax on investments that are sold and a gain is realized. This bullet point at the bottom, as far as economic inequality could be addressed by having a wealth tax due to its redistributive potential, is something that in a later presentation maybe we will explore. The second theme was government intervention and income redistribution. Well, after the 2007-2008 financial crash, we began to see a lot of tax credits given to lower income individuals and families. On the right in the green, you'll see a short list of some of those tax credits and how they were allocated to individuals, families, and those with children. Now, the problem with this type of government intervention as a means of redistributing wealth is that it only provides a short-term solution or relief, and it does not, or is ineffective for the real issue and broader inequities. The third theme that came up was our current tax system. Our current tax system is a progressive rate tax structure, which simply means that the more income you make, on paper, you should pay more taxes based on how the rate structure of the system is set up. However, the other issue that came up in the research was that the current tax system is inefficient because people are able to avoid paying taxes. Some of the limitations that came from this research was, one, it heavily relied on tax return data, which doesn't fully capture an individual's total wealth. Two, it assumed that taxation is or as the primary tool for redistribution. Three, it did not provide a holistic view in that it did not take into account the role of government spending. And finally, the research didn't focus on the fact that wealthier individuals are able to avoid or evade taxes, which undermines redistribution efforts. Thank you.